Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about how to use Norbert's Gambit on Questrade to convert Canadian currency to US currency at a really low price. And the way that Questrade handles the Norbert's Gambit has changed in early 2025, so I thought I'd make a video showing how I'm going to use it, as I'm actually going to convert some money from Canadian to USD. Now first off, why would you want to convert Canadian to US currency? In your RRSP, there's actually tax advantages for holding US currency ETFs and stocks in your RRSP. In the other accounts, there's not any benefits, but in an RRSP, you will not have to pay foreign withholding taxes. And I'll have a video talking about foreign withholding taxes so you understand what those are and the implications. In both my wife and I's RRSPs, we hold a US currency ETF called VTI. And here is the fact sheet for VTI. Why do we hold it? It is the US total market index. It doesn't just hold the S&P 500 stocks. It doesn't just hold the 500 largest companies. This holds all of them. The small cap, the mid cap, and the large cap stocks all in one bundle. You can see here how low the MER is, 0.03%. Basically, it's almost free. You can see on page 2 here that there's more than 3,600 companies in this ETF. You can see the top 10 holdings there. Again, it's all names that you're familiar with: Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, Meta, which is Facebook's parent company. I mean, you name a company and it'll likely be in this ETF. You can see the sector diversification here. Again, high in the technology right now. That's the American index right now. So this is a wonderful ETF for us to own. Here's our Questrade platform. I'm going to hide our dollar figures here. Students often ask me what my net worth is and all that, and I tend to keep that pretty private so that they don't know how much I have saved or anything like that. But for the new way to journal over from Canadian to US currency, back in 2024 even, you would have to buy dlr.to, and then you would call Questrade and you would ask them to journal it over to dlr.u, which is the US currency of DLR, and then 5 days later you could sell dlr.u, and then you would have your US currency in your RRSP account. Then you can see here that I've now purchased dlr.to. I just sold off my XEF, XIC, and XUS there. Those were in Canadian currencies. Once I build up enough to make it worth it, then I tend to convert it to US currency. Now, what is DLR? Well, it's just an ETF by a company called Global X. It used to be a company called Horizons, but it's now called Global X. It's basically just an ETF that follows the US Canadian dollar currency exchange rate. Why do people always use DLR? You can use many different ETFs or stocks as long as that stock or ETF is listed on both the Canadian exchanges as well as the American exchanges. So you could use, say, any of our banks. So if you used RBC, you could use rbc.to for the Canadian version and then journal it over to RBC with US currency on the New York Stock Exchange. The reason that most people do use DLR is because it is far less volatile than a stock or other ETFs. So because there's limited volatility in that 5-day stretch, then it's sort of the safest way to do that journaling process. So this whole journaling process to perform Norbert's Gambit has changed again. So now if you go to Management near the top here, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see Journal Shares. And this is where you perform all your journaling all by yourself. You don't have to get Questrade involved or anything like that. You can just do it all here on your own. So you select your account. So in this case, it's my RRSP. I'm going to select which ETF or stock that I want, and in this case it's dlr.to, and it automatically shows you which symbol, which ETF or stock it's going to journal it to, and it automatically says that it's going to convert it to dlr.u, and again that's going to be in US currency. In here it's going to ask how many shares you want to journal, and it defaults to all of them, so I have hidden that, but I do want all of them journaled, and then just press continue. You will notice that as of right now, journaling is going to be completely free for me. That's because they do have an offer right now until April 1st, 2025 to journal or perform Norbert's Gambit completely free, but starting April 1st, there will be a $9.95 plus tax per journaling request. This will reduce your fees significantly if you have larger orders for sure. And here it's asking if everything looks good, so just review that, make sure that it's all good, and then select send request, and then there you go. Your shares have been journaled, and it'll take about 5 business days still. You can keep an eye on it. If you click on see details, it gives you some additional details there, and you can cancel the request if you want. But Questrade has made this extremely easy for you to do now on your own. So I hope this video has allowed you to see how easy it is to perform Norbert's Gambit now. After April 1st, 2025, they're going to start charging $9.95 plus tax on that. If you can do that before April 1st, then it is completely free right now. I just performed a Canadian currency to US currency completely for free in the click of a couple of buttons. It's that easy. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to stay informed of some of my other ones, please subscribe below and have a wonderful day.